What's up, everyone? Excited to be back, to be with you all. How everyone is feeling today. Here I am after a busy Laracon US. Excited to see you all once again. How everyone is feeling today. What's up, EJL? Thank you so much for the... Dude, 7 months. Absolutely insane. Thank you so much for the subscription on Twitch. I really appreciate. Luis Cruza, what's up? How you doing? Zoli, nice to see you too. CVT Mal, what's up? Happy to see everyone. And welcome back to another live stream. And oh boy, today we have so much to catch up. Like, honestly, the last couple days has been so busy, excited, we have so much to catch up today, okay? And I kind of owe you guys an excuse in advance because I know that during the month of July, I haven't streamed too much. And, the reason it's because Laracon EU was just so much busy that I couldn't just do everything, basically. So I had to basically take a decision, and the decision was to have Pest 4 and my talk ready for Laracon US. And the good news is that for the remaining of the year, I will be all yours. Basically, YouTube, I will invest a bunch on YouTube. So, that's the good news. You know what I mean? Pick and Flow, what's up, dude? It was so nice to be with you, man. Honestly, just being with you at Laracon US was so cool, man. So nice to see you today. Khudizi, what's up? How you doing? I was with you today, with you at Laracon US too, right? Hey, Thomas, nice to see you. E-Proof TB Gaming, what's up, dude? Nice to see you too. Thank you, man. Today we are going to catch up in all of that. We are going to catch up on my talk. We are going to catch up on Caleb's talk and many other talks. I'm going to fill you all on everything that happened on Laracon US. And it was so much, honestly. From the traveling, from day 0, day 1, day 2. A lot of stuff happened, and I want to talk with you guys about all of that. Like, just give you all the details, all the behind the scenes. We are going to talk about all of that today. Yeah, it was so nice to meet you too, dude. It was awesome to see you at Laracon US. Just good times, man. Hey, Thomas, nice to see you. We have 2 Thomas on the YouTube chat, so nice to see you all. Yeah, the Blaze thing from Caleb Borzio, that's something else we need to talk about, because probably we could discuss, having just Blaze being the default in Laravel instead of using Blade. Rodicius, thank you so much for the 8-month subscription, dude. Thank you so much for being one of my supporters since day 1. I really appreciate that. Hey, Igor, nice to see you. And Kels V, what's up? I'm not a legend, you are. Chat, we have so much to talk about, honestly. So much to talk about. So let's just get started on this shit, okay? So today I have a couple things here, okay? I have literally PHP Storm open with my Pest 4 demo that I demoed at Laracon US. So if you guys have questions, we can jump in between the talk and the PHP Storm editor. We can just talk about all of that. By the way, did you guys saw that PHP Storm literally now has I think it's, what is it that? Here we go. Literally the Laravel IDE plugin is now free. Did you guys saw that? That's actually crazy just to know that now the Laravel IDE plugin is free. Okay, I'm a big fan of this plugin for Laravel. Gives you so much auto-completion, like literally. You can just come here, for example, and just type, something like route get, and you have really nice auto-completion out of the box in pretty much everything. And I love this. I love this plugin, and it's coming for free for PHP Storm, which is crazy. You want to see the goodies for Pest 4? I mean, haven't you watched my talk, Luis? Because my talk, I literally showed everything. Kelsey, by the way, if you have paid for PHP Storm ES plugin, I think you can have it either for free or with a discount. Because it's on the blog, I think. Yeah, Laravel IDEA plugin is absolutely awesome. I love it too, and I'm just happy that it's now free, basically. Yep, PHP Storm is absolutely cool, man. I love it. I love PHP Storm and everything they have done for the community. But before we dive into that, let's just talk about Laracon US, okay? If you guys have any questions, you let me know, okay? You let me know. So Laracon US was a week ago, okay? So here we go. And first of all, if you guys think I'm tired, it's because I am actually tired. The traveling was so brutal. I'm feeling so jet lagged at the moment that I feel like I slept for like 12 hours, but I would sleep more, honestly. Just exhausted from the conference, from the traveling. But yeah, it started on 29 July, but for me, it actually started a day earlier because I have this golfing thing with some dudes, and I actually did golf. Do I have that to show you? I think I do. Here we go. I did literally... Oh, I have 2 things to tell you about this, okay? 2 things. So I did some golfing with Evan Yu, the creator of Vue.js, So, I chat with the dude, we talk about multiple things, but then I just thought, wouldn't it be actually cool to have Evan Yu on the stream with us? And I just told him, like, dude, I have this YouTube channel with 20K subscribers. What do you think if you come to my stream and I just interview you? And he said, like, yes, just shoot me an email. So Evan Yu is literally coming, man. Evan Yu is coming, yeah. I don't know when. It might be this month or next month, but I still have to email him and explain him the plan. And anyways, exciting news. Aries, thank you so much for saying that about my talk. Machadinos, I haven't updated yet for PHP Storm, the latest version. I may have to do that. TG Miller, what's up, dude? Nice to see you, and congratulations in your talk. Emily Nev, thank you so much for the subscription. 7 months already. I really appreciate your support. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, Leandro, awesome news, honestly. So, Evan Yu may come this month or in September to my YouTube channel, and I think I need to prepare myself, honestly. So we may actually do a stream about Vue.js and another stream about Vite to literally just, catch up a little bit with the Vue ecosystem, and I think it'll be awesome. Yeah, the heat in Europe is crazy. My air conditioner is like fully on at the moment. Hey Mary, nice to see you. Your talk was awesome too, by the way. Apparently everyone is speaking about your talk. I told you would crush it, so congratulations. Thank you, Psycho. Appreciate it, the feedback. Prinky, thank you. So this was day 0, okay? Day 0, I was literally doing some golfing with Evan Yu, with Taylor, with Adam, Alan Francis, who else? Eric Barnes, and some other dudes. So that was very cool. That was a very nice first day. Okay, so that was day 0, okay? Day 0, and I also had like a dinner with the team, which makes us to day 1. And I want to speak about the day 1 a little bit, because I want to speak with you about like how well I felt on that day. So first of all, I slept for 8 hours, I think, before my talk, which is awesome. Typically people get nervous and they don't sleep at all. I slept the entire night like crazy good. And I went to the gym in the morning. So that's how cool I felt. Like I was, waking up happy, went to the gym, just put the blood a little bit flowing in my head to get myself ready for day 1 at Laracon. So I was literally the first speaker, actually. So if we go to the schedule, let's go there real quick. Where do I have that now? Here we go. I was literally the first speaker. After Aaron Francis. Yeah, Aaron Francis, he basically gave a talk about, like, you can just do things. If you haven't watched this talk, you can do things you should probably do. It's a great talk, and Aaron Francis is a great speaker, but also a great MC. Probably Aaron Francis is one of the best MCs I have worked with for multiple reasons, but the main one is the fact that Aaron Francis really makes you comfortable on stage. Like, I can go on stage with Aaron Francis and be absolutely sure that Aaron Francis will never make me a question that makes me uncomfortable. And as a speaker, as someone who goes on stage, something I'm always concerned is that if people will make fun of me, if people are making, will laugh at me or whatever, I'm always worried about that for some reason. And when I'm with Aaron Francis, I am just 100% sure that Aaron Francis would never say anything that would make me uncomfortable. So I love to be in the same conference as Aaron, basically. Plus, yeah, exactly, TJ Miller. Like, he just says good stuff. I love him, honestly. The best MC I've worked with ever in my life. So, you know. Hey, Adrian, nice to see you, man. Welcome to the chat. And congratulations as well on Pest Forward and helping me out with the release, man. Appreciate your, just you also being with me too all the time. And thank you for the subscription. 6 months, man. Thank you, thank you. Also supported from day one. I appreciate that. And now, David, thank you so much for the subscription. 6 months, man. I really appreciate your support too. You just got energy. Yeah, Aaron Francis is absolutely awesome indeed. Bunkers, thank you so much. 7 months already too. Tier 1, man. Appreciate your support. You are awesome, man. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, so we are going to watch the talk together, by the way, my talk. But yeah, just saying that Aaron Francis did a great talk, day one, but let's jump into my talk. So my idea today is that we are going to watch my talk together, and potentially you guys are going to have any questions about my stuff, and I can give you some behind the scenes. But let's see how the sound is to begin with. You guys let me know.
Okay, I am going to introduce...
So that's Aaron's voice, this is my voice. You guys let me know how the sound is. Put just okay on the chat or not okay if it's not okay. So I didn't went to the mostly technical party because I didn't want to screw my voice. So something I have learned is that just right before going on stage and giving a talk, don't just use your voice at all, okay? And I didn't want to go to the mostly technical pre-party because I didn't want to screw my voice a little bit. So I just said, okay, I'm going to skip this pre-party and just, save myself to the conference. Hey, Ashley, nice to see you here, man. How you doing?
Now, our first speaker, who very much embodies this principle. Our first speaker.
So basically, when Aaron was saying this about me, I was already backstage, literally just backstage ready, fully mic'd up, and ready to be on stage. In those moments, it's just like you are so nervous, Honestly, I am more nervous before going on stage than actually being on stage itself, because after the first few minutes, you are kind of chilling, but I was so nervous, so nervous.
Today is Nuno Maduro. If you've ever used anything in PHP and thought, wow, this is clunky, there's a chance Nuno's already made a package to make it better, right? So Nuno is not only a prolific open source contributor, he is a member of the core Laravel team, but beyond that, he really embodies joy in programming. So if you've ever seen one of his streams, you understand what I'm saying, and if you haven't seen one of his streams, you're about to understand what I'm saying. He brings a lot of joy to the craft, and that is, I appreciate that.
Something I have noticed is that, and this is actually true, something I have noticed is that live streaming with you guys here gives me a little bit more confidence, or gave me a little bit more confidence this year on stage. So I felt for some reason that I was more prepared because I'm grinding on YouTube here with you all, and for some reason that grinding just brings me more confidence, before going on stage.
Very much. And he is here today to talk to us about Pest 4. So please welcome to the stage Nuno Maduro.
The lightning was actually so bad. Literally, I cannot see anything.
And hello, Laracon.
Here we go.
I'm super happy to be here today. For those who don't know me, again, my name is Nuno Maduro. I am Laravel core team member and the creator as well of one of the most popular...
Yeah, everyone had their own song, basically. So before going to a few days before the conference, they ask you, which music do you want before going on stage? And then I picked the music from one of my favorite gaming creators, and that's been my music for forever, actually. It was my music on Laracon AU, it was my music in Laracon EU, and now it's my music on Laracon US. I always pick the same song, and honestly, the song just brings me luck, so I think I'm gonna just keep using it,
testing frameworks out there past PHP. And guess what? Today, it's all about Pest. We are going to see everything coming out for past PHP v4 this summer.
Just by the way, huge shout out to David Hill for making this Pest v4 logo. What do you think about Pest v4 logo? I honestly, I don't know. When I received this stuff from David Hill, I was like, I wasn't sure, but apparently people like it. What do you think about this? Yes, no, write on the chat what you think. I think it's okay. Pick and Flow, you like it? Oh, that's cool. It's a little bit cyberpunk. That was one of my first reactions. Feels like cyberpunk. Hey, Thomas, you love it too? Okay, cool. All right. Oh, well, everyone thinks it's sick, so, pretty sure it's good.
Now, every once in a while, a new tool comes to the PHP.
Okay, so this specific part, I actually inspired myself in Steve Jobs a little bit. So I don't know if you guys know the talk Steve Jobs gave about the iPhone, and on the very first iPhone, he basically said every once in a while a new product comes to the world that changes everything. In Apple, we created the AirPod thing, and we created the MacBook or whatever. And this year is not different. We are releasing something, which is the iPhone. So this stuff was literally inspired by that stuff. You can actually hear it.
Enough to belong to the creation of some of those tools.
Can I go back?
Later as well of one of them enough to belong to the creation enough to be.
How do I go 10 seconds behind on YouTube? Is that even possible with my keyboard? Oh. Here we go. So watch this. This small part was literally inspired by Steve Jobs.
Every once in a while, a new tool comes to the PHP ecosystem that changes everything. And I was actually lucky enough to belong to the creation of some of those tools. You may know Laravel Paint, which today is one of the most popular linters in the world with more than 100 million.
Oh, my camera is literally on top of my face. Can I change this real quick? Do I want to change this? Fuck it. I don't think we care.
Total downloads. Another one is Laracon that brings type safety to Laravel and probably is among many composer.jsons here in the room. And finally, of course, Pest PHP, which is a tool I have created 5 years ago to bring the joy of testing to PHP. Now, today is one of those days. I think I'm going to introduce you to something that I truly believe anyone here in the room will be using since...
Oh my God, anyone? I meant everyone. What the actual...
Day one. Today, I'm proud to introduce you to browser testing for PHP that for the first time ever actually works. We are talking...
So the fun part about this is that it's actually a confession. Like, I didn't know if people were used to use Laravel Dusk or, any kind of browser testing solution in the PHP world. So I didn't know how would be the reaction from people. But apparently, a lot of people have used Laravel Dusk in the past. So they know that Laravel Dusk can be, a little bit slow, sometimes a little bit flaky. And, I'm glad that people found that joke a little bit fun. For the first time ever, exactly.
Thank you. We are talking about a full solution on top of Playwright, the most powerful browser testing engine in the JavaScript world. We are talking about a tool that allows you to test with multiple browsers and devices, and of course, introduces smoke and visual testing.
Just by the way, a lot of people ask me, how do I prepare myself for public speaking? It's literally about muscle memory, meaning that I've rehearsed so many times. So when I go on stage, everything is on my head. Every single word, I even rehearse a little bit for the clapping, So for example, when I'm finishing a topic and I predict a little bit that people will clap, I just literally rehearse the thank you. That's how much muscle memory I put into this stuff.
Like never before. And that's it for slides today. Let's actually move to my favorite editor ever, PHP Storm. And what I have here is a regular Laravel starter kit. just a regular Laravel starter kit with inertia in React. And if I just open this starter kit, you may know that we have this beautiful home page. Now, if I were to do some browser testing on this page, probably what I would do is test that I can see certain text on this page. So let's do that. I'm going to get back into my PHP Storm editor, and what I will do is start with browser testing. Now,
Placement detected? What do you mean, Adrian?
you don't have to type any install command. You don't have to go to a separate folder. The only thing you do is come here to this get function, and you just replace this with visit. Okay? And finally, you have a browser response here. So meaning that you can drag elements, you can type on inputs, you can click on buttons, or even you can assert, see certain text, which is exactly what we are going to do. So let's assert to see Laravel, come to my terminal, run vendor bin past, and sure enough, I have a passing test suite. And this is fast as hell. Honestly, feels like unit testing. It's really fast. Now,
there is something else I need to work on. Now I can finally bring a little bit, of Pest for development to the stream, but there is still stuff I have to work on. Like, you see this visit right here? It does indeed works on any folder, so you don't have to go to the browser folder or whatever. However, it does require to have Playwright installed. So something I will have to work on is every time people are using this function, at least the very first time, I will have to install Playwright for them. So I still have to work on that. A silent PHP Storm promotion going there. Dude, to be fair, it's kind of the best editor, you know what I mean? Before PHP Storm being a sponsor of this channel, I was already pitching PHP Storm. So for me, it was already the best editor for PHP development. And it is, I'm thinking, honestly, the only sponsors I will ever accept on this channel are brands that I literally trust and I literally believe on. There is a bunch of YouTubers that just accept any kind of sponsorship. I think on this YouTube channel, at least for now, where I have a full-time job, I think I will only accept brands that I truly believe on. So PHP Storm, Laracon, and many others, but only the ones that I truly believe on.
So far, we have seen that this solution is fast, it's easy to put in place, but I don't think I have shown you anything that different from Laravel Dusk. So let's actually write a real test altogether so you can see how powerful this solution can be. I'm going to move here into my UI, and maybe let's test together the login form. So I am on the home page. The first thing I need to do, click on login, fill my email address and password, click login, and finally I can assert to see this dashboard text. Let's actually do this together. So I'm going to type logout here. I'm going to get back into my edit.
Yeah, I could potentially run that as a post-install command. I'm not sure if Composer allows that though. But yeah, basically people have to type npm install playwright. That's the only thing they have to do for now.
And I'm going to type the following: test, login, provide an empty closure like we always do with Pest PHP. And because I'm testing the login, I may actually want to create a user so I can log in as that user. So let's type here user equals to user factory create. Now, the problem with Laravel Dusk would start right now. Because in order to use a database, you would have to be forced to use a trait, call it database transactions or migrations. And that trait
is database transactions or Laravel database migrations?
Is actually super slow at scale. But with Pest PHP, I'm proud to say that you can actually use your favorite trait ever with the name refresh database. Not only you can do that, but you can actually go to your phpunit.xml file and keep using SQLite, but not only SQLite, SQLite in memory, meaning that the test in the browser will be using the same database connection in memory, which is crazy fast. Now, I'm going to get back into my test here. And what I will do is start writing my test. So obviously, we go to the home page. And then I should click on the login button. So let's do that. And finally, I'm going to start typing my email. I don't know if you guys have experience with browser testing solutions, but something that always happens with other solutions is that every time you click on something that causes the redirection, you would have to be forced to do this very annoying thing, call it wait for certain text to appear.
This is something that I actually wanted to avoid, and I'm happy that I managed to do it. And the way it works, in case you don't know, is that every time I'm clicking on something, I'm going to just basically retrying to type on the email. That's why you don't have to type this bullshit. This is something I really wanted to avoid on my Pest 4.
So with Pest, you don't have to do that. If there is a redirection, I will just wait for you, basically, okay?
Hey, thank you,
So
Benjamin.
let's type the user email. Let's also type the password, press login, and then assert see the text dashboard, okay? So I'm going to clear my terminal, run Pest, and sure enough, we should have a passing test suite, and we do. Now,
The TLDR of this situation is that because the browser and the test are literally sharing the same process behind the scenes, you are allowed to basically use factories, you are allowed to use things like, I'm going to just move here. Here we go. You are allowed to use things like assert authenticated us or notification was sent to the user.
expected.
And honestly, this is kind of the integration I wanted for Pest v4. You know, I don't think I would be happy with anything else besides actually this. And I'm happy that I managed to accomplish that.
Were to come here all the way down and type assert nothing sent, this will make my test suite fail. So I don't know if you guys are realizing how powerful this is. We literally are combining the browser testing possibilities with the power of unit testing with Laravel. So I absolutely love this. Thank you. If you guys are clapping because of this, you are not ready, because what's coming here is really cool.
Now, this specific part actually reassured me a little bit, because I was like, okay, well, if people are happy with this very beginning of the presentation, which literally just tells about, you know, how to use this API and how well integrated with Laravel is, if people are happy with this, they will be happy with the remaining of the presentation, because it is indeed much better.
I want to show you how actually deeply integrated this is. I'm a big fan of code coverage. I don't know if you guys use code coverage. I do use code coverage all the time.
I'm going to move forward here a little bit.
And again, with previous browser testing of code, put this a little bit more, telling you that the password is wrong.
Oh, this is a good one.
Failing. Even things like code coverage that was not possible in the past are now working as expected.
Thank you, Davey.
Now, how you debug browser testing? Well, in the past,
this is something that I really wanted to crack a little bit too, which is, you know, with browser testing, debug can be really difficult, especially, again, if you were using Dusk, you would have access to screenshots, or you would have to rerun everything in edit mode. It might be difficult to debug, but I think I'm really happy with this solution.
He wouldn't debug, he would just guess, basically. But I'm going to show you how can you debug things with Pest v4 in browser testing. I'm going to go all the way up, put this a little bit more high. Here we go. And here we are testing the login form. And something that should make this test fail is coming here and comment the field password. Now, if I comment this given field, I'm typing the email, I'm not typing the password, meaning that if I click login, I should not see the text dashboard. So if I just come here, run bin pest, sure enough, we should have a failing test suite, and we do. So here, pest PHP, failed to see the dashboard text, but how will we debug this? How can we, try to debug this stuff? Well, the only thing you have to do with Pest is just come here, and right before the failing assertion, you just type debug. You clear your terminal, you run Pest, and Pest PHP will automatically focus the test and literally point you in the right direction, telling you that the password is wrong.
I was so stressed about this particular demo, actually, because somehow the resolution was just so much different than my laptop. So I went basically to the stage on a day before, and the resolution that was given to me was just so much different from the resolution on my laptop. So I wasn't sure about this particular demo that allows you to basically debug browser testing, but in order to make it really cool, I would have to kind of zoom in and just literally point you to the password field. And I'm glad that it actually worked as expected. People were happy with the result, I think.
Focus the test and literally point you in the right direction, telling you that the password is wrong. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Luis, and Joel,
So
thank
now
you.
we know it's easy to know what's happening on my browser test, so we can literally go back and just come back to the test, uncomment the password, remove the debug, press any key to continue, clear my terminal, run past PHP. It's actually passing now. And
Okay, this is a good one too. So basically, during the presentation, I talked about smoke testing and how basically things like asserting that a given route is 200 is not enough anymore because there is literally browsers today. So you might have to check if the browser is rendering, blah, blah, blah. And the end result is something like this.
browser testing, it will not. Oops, need to remove this stinker. Here we go. Clear my terminal, run past, and we should have a passing test suite, and we do. So let's, it's passing as expected. Let's just go here and replace this with browser testing instead. And what I will type here to ensure we don't have any JavaScript problem is the following. Assert no JavaScript errors, okay?
By the way, this is exactly what we needed on Laravel Cloud. So I wanted to have some sort of browser testing that not only asserts that things are rendering, but also asserts that we are not shipping JavaScript regressions, because sometimes things visually, they look the same, and even on terms of UI, they look the same, but there is literally JavaScript problems on the console, which I totally want to avoid. And this was literally done for Laravel Cloud.
I'm going to put this all the way up, clear my terminal, run past. And previously we had a passing test suite with a search status 200, but we don't have that anymore because this was able to literally find JavaScript problems on the first glance. So here, for example, we have this trying to read undefined, which is email. So obviously we have a JavaScript problem on the profile component, and I'm going to just open that component here for you. If I go all the way up, sure enough, I'm trying to access to a wrong property on this auth object. I can just come here, type user instead, clear my terminal, run past, and now it should just work as expected. I don't know if you guys are understanding the value of this, but we have, thank you. We have
That's a good one. Honestly, it's one of my favorite features too. Just sorting JavaScript errors, basically. Hey, Mateos, nice to see you. Moltroy, what's up, dude? Oh yeah, we're back, baby. Isaac is saying, I love smoke testing. I have encountered so many times with my Inertia app that everything looked good, but on the back end, but we have a white screen. Yeah, I mean, this is exactly one of the things that can be fixed with this assertion. Blank pages, basically. So you can have this assert JavaScript problems that will check that for you. But I also think, like, in general, sometimes things may be rendering, but there is literally JavaScript problems, you know what I mean? So, oh, this was your favorite presentation? Thank you for saying that. Means a bunch. And thank you so much for the subscription tier 1, 6 months in advance. Oh my Lord, dude, you are absolutely awesome. Thank you so much. By the way, the Pest for documentation is up. You guys just don't know about that, but it's up. Like if I go, yeah, here we go. v4.pestphp.com. Exclusive early access to Pest v4 in blah, blah, blah. You cannot actually access this. It's behind a basic auth. I'm gonna try to come up with this stuff for you all, okay? A little bit earlier than expected. But I actually, during this presentation, didn't talk about everything coming new. Okay, we didn't talk about everything coming new. So I talked about browser testing. I talked about smoke testing. I talked about visual regression testing, but I haven't talked about, or I did talk about test charting too, but I haven't talked about type coverage being faster. I haven't talked about profanity checking. I haven't talked about there's many other things coming. So that's something else I need to, oh my God, did I left this word here? So bad. Anyways, this stuff I will potentially talk at Laravel Live Dinamark. That's my plan. That's my plan at the moment.
single method.
Dude, the only reason I cannot give you the user in the past yet, it's because I will have to rewrite the asynchronous part of this project. So the project is based on React PHP, but React PHP has this dependency which is not yet updated, so will cause problems on installations sometimes. Anyways, I emailed the author of React PHP. He didn't answer me yet. So what I think I will do is that during this weekend, I will have to rewrite the React PHP part to AMQPHP, which is another synchronous library.
That provides so much value. So much value.
So besides the assert no JavaScript problems, you have this assert no console logs too, and all of that is encapsulated within an assert no smoke assertion, which is a good one too. Okay, the final one I have demoed is this assert screenshot matches, which is literally visual testing regressions. This is a good one.
Different, meaning that we have a JavaScript UI regression. Let me show you an example. I'm going to get back into this profile component, and I'm going to go all the way down, and I'm going to replace profile information.
So Adrian, this was the one that we have done together, right? And I'm not sure, Adrian, if this was done on live stream or it was done post live stream, somehow after I stopped developing Pest 4 on stream.
With Nuno Nation. So obviously, a different text here, right? Different text meaning a different UI. If I run vendor bin past, past will fail because we'll say, hold up, the UI doesn't look the same as before. And I'm going to go all the way up. It will tell me, did you actually meant that change? If yes, you can give me update snapshots so I can update the baseline. If not, just give me this beautiful flag, call it --diff. So let's do that. Let's type here vendor bin past --diff. And if I do this, Pest PHP will open a new browser and literally tell me what is different on my web page right there. Tells me in red, and guess what? Once you are you want to see exactly what is different, you can click on this beautiful slider all the way top and see exactly what is different right there.
That was a good one.
So you can see what we had before.
Yeah, that was a good one. That felt good. This clapping right here felt really good. I was really hoping people would be excited about this. By the way, props to Agent, literally developed this beautiful slider, so that was on him. Yeah, the slider was a good one, yeah. I was happy with the result, happy that people clapped, happy about everything, literally. By the way, my wife went to Laracon US. My wife literally was on the audience, and I was just so happy to have you all there, but also have my wife just looking at me on stage. Felt really good. Guillermo is saying, I was here when wait, what? I was here when you discover in the live stream that slider. Oh, okay. But that was a good one. I was happy with this one.
What we have now, and now you can take an action on it. You see, here, for example, I made a mistake. I obviously didn't want to update this, so I can just go back, replace this back, run, go. This is the desktop, and this is the viewport.
Yeah, so I basically can configure to be on a mobile, blah, blah, blah. What else do I have?
Here on the terminal. Now, this full demo project has two reasons why Now, yeah, of course, right? What's happening now with Laravel Dusk? Well, nothing.
Just by the way, a lot of people came to me and asked me like, you know, how about Laravel Dusk? And the reality is that, you know, I just came to Taylor, I think it was like 2 weeks before, and I told Taylor, dude, you know, I have this project and it's just so much better than Laravel Dusk. It is okay if I just start comparing Pest 4 with Dusk, and he told me yes. So that's partly the reason why I compared, you know, this presentation so much with Laravel Dusk.
Is happening. However, I think I have shown you compelling reasons why Pest before in browser testing can be so much better than Laravel Dusk. However, there is literally one more thing I want to show you when comparing Dusk with Pest v4. I'm going to go back into my PHP Storm. And what I will do is that I'm going to close this Laracon folder and open this full demo project. I'm going to do the same thing here on the terminal. Now, this full demo project has two test suites, okay? One of them is written with Laravel Dusk.
You mean Pick and Flow? Do you mean Livewire 2, Livewire 3, and Livewire 4, right? I don't think, no, Dan didn't talk about Filament. I haven't seen Filament on stage. So, which is, I don't know, I love Filament. You know, we still have to do the Filament week. By the way, the Filament week will be a full project on Filament 4, and my plan is literally to develop this affiliate links website that I need for my YouTube channel. So I think that will be full developed on Filament, Actions, and more.
Okay, Laravel Dusk here, forget password, home test, login test, everything here written with Laravel Dusk. I'm going to close this folder, call it browser, and I'm going to open this one, call it feature.
So the TLDR is that I have literally 2 big projects, or better, 2 big test suites. One called it browser, the one called it feature. One is with Laravel Dusk, the other one was with Pest v4. And the goal was kind of compare them both in terms of performance.
And here we have exactly the same test suite, but this time written with Pest v4 in browser testing. So let's compare them both in terms of performance. I'm going to go back into my terminal, and I'm going to type PHP Artisan Dusk. And here we go. Dusk is running tests sequentially, one by one, and we are still waiting, I think.
Something I haven't told audience is that I have actually warmed up a little bit Dusk in advance. So this was Dusk being slow, and it was already warmed up, meaning that I had Chrome open and ready to serve Dusk requests. And because I didn't want to, you know, I don't want people to literally say, oh, but you faked a little bit the scenario. So everything was real. Even I have warmed up this Dusk situation.
Here we go. They are still running. Yep, one by one. Here we go. And here we have 9 to 10 seconds test suite. And honestly, 10 seconds may not look a lot, but you move this to GitHub Actions, you had a couple more tests, you have time to go for lunch. Literally takes, you know, dozens of minutes. And now I'm going to show you the difference between this and Pest PHP. I'm going to clear my terminal, and I'm going to type vendor bin pest. However, what I haven't told you yet is that you can combine the flag parallel, meaning that we have combined, thank you, we have combined the parallel mode on Playwright with the parallel mode in Pest in Laravel. And now let's run this to see the difference. Here we go, running Pest, and here we have a test suite running in 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's a good one. Again, there is multiple reasons why Pest v4 is faster. Of course, it's based on Playwright, which by itself is faster. Is, you know, just by that reason is already like twice faster. But like the biggest one is that we have fully integrated Pest PHP v4 parallel mode with Playwright parallel mode 2, meaning that I have use cases where I have like 400 tests running in less than 20 seconds. So, you know, parallel testing is kind of the big unlocker here, which allows you to use all the CPUs you have in your MacBook.
So that's how fast Pest PHP can be. We just jumped from 10 seconds to just 2 seconds, making Pest PHP up to 5 times faster on my laptop.
So we are not using, so basically we wrote our own PHP SDK of Playwright. So Playwright comes with JavaScript SDK, C# SDK, Ruby and Python SDK, and there is no PHP SDK. So I'm communicating with Playwright is worker through WebSockets to make this possible.
And I have as well a 400 test suite, 400 browser tests on the project that I have with Pest v4, and they are running in less than 20 seconds.
Just by the way, you guys see like how big the font is behind the scenes? This is something really important, is that every time you are giving a talk, just make the font 700 times bigger, like the most biggest possible. This is, you know, one of the biggest mistakes I see speakers doing is that they keep the font super small and nobody can see shit. Honestly, nobody can see shit. Only the very first people on the very first rows can see anything. But if you go to the back, nobody can see. So one tip that I usually give is that just make the font 700% times bigger. You know, like you cannot see anything. So you want to make it as big as possible.
Which is absolutely crazy. Let's go back here and talk a little bit about Pest 4. So with Pest 4, we are introducing.
Yeah, we talked about this, but that's basically it. Like, you know, I only talked about browser testing, but there is also other stuff coming. So on browser testing, again, you can use everything you would do on Laravel. You can use multiple browsers, you can use multiple devices, multiple color schemes, screenshot testing, smoke testing, parallel testing. So all of that just works basically. So what else? Smoke testing, visual regression, test charting. This is a big one too. So on Laravel Cloud, we basically had this test suite that was taking 10 minutes, and we needed something to just split the test suites, and we had two solutions. We could either go with groups, and you would basically manually create groups of tests and just run them concurrently on GitHub Actions, or I could come up with this interesting feature, call it dash sharding, and this basically allows you to use this Git matrix feature, so you can literally split the test suite in various concurrent workflows. And the result on Laravel Cloud was we went from 10 minutes to 2 minutes only. So that's a good one too. Oh, thank you, Kovac. Thank you. You can run Pest. So Pest is on top of PHP unit. So if you have PHP unit, you just have to install Pest, run Pest, and it just works. ASIC Dude, thank you. So on Laravel Live Dinamark, I'm going to talk about browser testing, but also type coverage and how faster it is now. Profanity checking, which is something we are bringing as well to detect like bad words in your system. This is a small, but I think is a good one too. And obviously we are on top of PHP Unit 12, which makes things a little bit more faster. But yeah, that's it. I kind of have to update this because there is a few more little features I'm currently working on. So that was my talk, chat. What do you guys thought about my talk? It was good. I think the feedback overall was good, and I was happy with the feedback. Honestly, felt good at the end. What else do I want to speak about? I want to speak about the schedule in some of the things coming to the Laravel ecosystem. Oh, thank you, Adrian. Thank you. Yeah, we'll be out on 21 August, which is almost there. Almost there. A lot of people talked about the talk from Mary, Design Patterns. And Mary is a great speaker, and I was also excited to see her on stage. A great talk overall, and great job there as well. Let's talk about Livewire a little bit. What did you guys thought about the Livewire presentation? Are you guys excited about Livewire? Do we have an article on Laravel News about that? Let me see. Livewire. Here we go. Everything we know about Livewire 4. What do you guys think about this stuff? Well, we have a couple of topics to talk about, honestly, about Livewire, because we have the emoji situation, and we have the co-location of components, like literally have the blade view, the JavaScript code, the PHP code, and the test in the same folder. So mainly, I think we can start about this. Gildo, we may do another PHP Portugal meetup soon. Yeah, I think like the way Caleb Porzio delivers talks is so exciting. I love the way he delivered talks. It's just so fun. And I was in the first row, honestly. I was in the first row. Yeah, I also think like what we are seeing here, co-location of code, is what I would expect from a modern framework, basically. So every time you do something on React, for example, or you do something with Vue, you kind of co-locate things. So you co-locate the template plus the PHP code in the same place. And it's really useful to have everything in the same file. So that's what co-location of Caleb is about for Livewire 4. And apparently you have two types of co-location. One of them is everything in the same file, which is a little bit like a la Volt. So HTML and the class definition on the same file. And the second thing you can do, if you think this is not enough, is co-locate but per directory, which I also think it makes sense. collocated tests in Pest is something you can do already. Yeah, I love Caleb. Caleb is a great speaker, and I was happy with this change. This is something that probably was early about to see the community reaction, but I think overall the community reaction was okay. Yeah, collocation with Pest already works. Okay, Mateus Junges is saying, I don't like backend code living on resources views, to be honest. I think it's a question of just doing it for a bit, and I can tell you, Mateus, you will like it. Because if you think a little bit, Blade View, for example, is already code, you know? Like, Blade View is literally backend code. It's code that gets executed on the backend and rendered to a browser. So it's backend code too, you know? So I like it. I honestly think it's a great idea from Caleb. And I think, like, if Caleb likes it, it's a very chance that a lot of people will like it too. Just by the way, we coded this feature together. That was so fun. This one was very fun. So honestly, a few days before, I think it was like 4 days before or 5 days before, I called with Caleb to literally show a little bit of Pest for, and we talked about Livewire 4 at the same time, and he told me, like, we have this visit method, what do you think? And we basically just come up with a solution that allows Pest v4 to use, Livewire to use Pest v4 its browser testing. So now you can literally just do visits like this. Livewire visit the counter component and click on the button, search see things. This one is a good one. Agent, why you don't like the anonymous class? Like, what is literally the difference? Like, let's go here. Come here, Agent. Come here. So, if you have, let's just talk about this a little bit, okay, Agent? So let's go here into the app folder of resources, views. Let's create something here, call it counter.blade.php, okay? And we have a PHP file, right? And we have a class counter, which has some stuff inside. What is the difference between this and this? What exactly is the difference for you, Adrian, here? Like, why would you need a name? That's my question. Oh, just because of the test? Okay. Hey, Brendo, what's up, man? Filament Brazil, we are going to do a Laravel Filament Week here on the channel real soon. I think Wayfinder is a great project too. For people who do inertia, I think it's awesome. You know what I mean, Agent? I don't see the reason why I wouldn't like this. I think this is, you know, a little bit better. We don't have to deal with class names, and we don't have to come up with class names too. On the test suite, I do know what you mean. So I guess what you are saying is that instead of doing this, if you don't have a class name, you would have to do this, basically. Right? I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, what else we have? So code collocation, we have the Livewire visit, Blaze. This one is exciting, honestly. And I'm kind of surprised that we never thought about this for Blaze. You know, what Blaze is about is before sending the Blaze views to production, let's just compile them in the simplest way as possible. So, you know, I was kind of surprised that we never thought about this for Laravel Blade, and it feels good to see that, you know, Caleb did the Blade situation, because it makes a lot of sense now that I'm thinking about this. If you think about this, PHP itself, one of the reasons why it's so fast, it's because it also does some pre-compilation before sending it to the runtime. And I'm surprised that we never thought about this. However, it might be a little bit too early to send this to the core because you don't know how well it will behave. It might have some regressions if you think about this. It will be a game changer for Filament. So I don't know if you guys saw, but on my YouTube channel, we made a review about Filament. And do I have my YouTube channel open somewhere? I do. Here we go. So on my YouTube channel, we did a full review on Filament 4, and we saw that Filament 4 is much faster. So that was without Blaze. And now that Blaze is coming, I think Filament 4 will be even more faster. By the way, chat, if you just arrived, my name is Nuno, and I am a PHP Laravel developer. I love what I do, streaming every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you enjoy my content, just go all the way down and click on that like button, okay? If you love PHP, if you love Laravel, if you love me, just put like on that button and subscribe my channel. By the way, we just reached 20k subscribers, chat. 20k subscribers. This was like at midnight on the last day of July, which was kind of my goal, to have 20k subscribers by the end of the month, and we got that on the very last second. That was really exciting days and exciting news for me. I was super excited. Here we go, 20k. Thank you so much for that. The next goal is reach 50k by the end of the year, which will be a little impossible, but let's see how it goes. Hey Ducatan, what's up? Nice to see you, man. Pest merch is out yet, by the way, chat. I don't know if you saw, but the Pest merch is out. Go to shop.nunomaduro.com. And if you guys like to support my work, this is a good way of supporting my work and also have some nice merch with you, okay? But yeah, excited about the Blade situation, excited about slots, excited about islands. I want to do another Livewire app. The feeling that I got after finishing this talk was I want to go home and just develop another social media like Pinkery. I want to do something more with Livewire. So we have islands, that's exciting. We have slots as well. Feels good, feels good. Because you don't know, Pinkery is fully built on top of Livewire, and it works fantastically. I love it. It's easy to develop stuff. We have new features coming all the time, and this is fully developed with Livewire. So that was one of the highlights for me. Livewire B4 in Laracon US. What else do we have? We have Boost. Did you guys try Boost already? This one is interesting. So I haven't tested yet, okay, but at glance, it makes a lot of sense. So basically, what Boost is this package you require in your Laravel project and gives you MCP tools to interact with your Laravel app, okay? So if the AI wants to run some code, it can use the Tinker MCP. If the AI wants to potentially do something else, it can use that something else MCP. So that makes a lot of sense. Also have access to the Laravel documentation. I haven't used yet, but it looks fantastically cool. Does any of you have tried Boost already? Write on the chat if you have already or not. So Livewire 4 is not released yet. Pest V4 will be released on 21 August. And Boost, I think it's out. I'm not sure. It might be out. The Boost is not public yet? Okay. Okay, let me open on my Firefox browser aside, because I don't want you guys to see the code. One second, chat. So let me type here, GitHub, Laravel, Boost. Ooh, there is a couple of Boost projects. What do I see here? It's indeed private, chat. Apologize. I thought it was out. It's not out yet. Yep. Okay. It's not out. I know, I apologize. It's not out. Yeah, do you want me to just change the visibility of the project from private to public? No, it's not. I cannot do that. Anyways, looks cool. Looks a good idea and makes a lot of sense. It's just a question of making it really optimized. Something I have seen on stage is a very simple question triggered the MCP tooling behind the scenes. And I was kind of expecting the AI tool only triggering the MCP tools when they are really necessary. So the question and the answer becomes super fast. I'm pretty sure that will be figured out once it's out. Looks awesome. Boost for the win. What else we have? Boom. We have product updates. Let me go here. Laravel blog to see the product updates. Everything we announced at Laracon US. Yeah, we have, by the way, I've worked my ass off on this one. So Laravel Cloud now comes with MySQL. MySQL is finally GA. So you could use MySQL before, but it was like developer preview situation. But now it's fully production ready. And this is kind of my thing, my big thing at Laracon US, because I have to work on this stuff for a month, but it's finally out. MySQL, production ready for the win. We have also simplified the pricing. What else? Bam, bam, boom, boom. We have this preview environments done as well. So if you do a new branch, we'll just auto deploy a la Vercel, and it really works good. What else do we have? Forge. Forge got a new UI. What do you guys thought about the new UI on Forge? It looks beautiful. What do you guys think about that? You enjoy the background music? Thank you, thank you. Diabel, thank you so much. Tier 1, man. You are absolutely awesome. For 8 months already. Yeah, so preview environments, it literally creates a new database for you, or it creates a new one. You have to kind of specify that. Well, technically, Forge now has 0 downtime deployments. So I don't know, man. I don't see a reason why I would keep using Envoyer, because if Forge has 0 downtime deployments, like, wasn't that what Envoyer offered? I think like Forge is just so much better now. Yeah, the Forge UI is very similar to Cloud, and that's intentional. So basically, the Forge UI has the same design elements as Laravel Cloud, because the goal is making this brand universal UI across all our products, you know? Mateus, thank you for making that clear to me. Appreciate. What is the difference between Forge and Cloud? So on Forge, you bring your infrastructure to us. So you create, for example, a DigitalOcean account, and you bring that DigitalOcean account to Forge. So you bring the cloud to us. In Laravel Cloud, we just basically manage everything, including the cloud itself. So we also, provide you the infrastructure. Laravel Cloud is a project I'm working on, by the way, as a full-time job. That's exciting stuff about Forge. I was really happy to see that the Forge demo went very well, because I know how hard the Forge team has been working on this stuff. You guys can imagine, like, literally developing a project where you have to maintain 2 front ends, like the new one plus the old one in the same stuff. It's really tricky, especially doing that without any kind of regressions. So, I'm happy that they managed to do the demo. And I'm also happy that everything went as expected and that people were excited about this. So just happy, man. Just happy about that. Plus that terminal feature. Dude, the terminal feature is so, do I want to be public about this? I don't know. But the terminal feature was so crazy because they had this POC of a terminal, okay? They had this POC of a terminal ready, and they didn't have yet that pairing situation, and they have developed the pairing situation in the last 2 days before the demo. And it's crazy. It looks awesome, but just crazy that 2 days before the demo, they literally developed that feature. So Thunder Turner is saying, dude, what's up, dude? Nice to see you. Thanks for saying hi. How you doing? Yeah, the real-time collaboration is a good one too, indeed. What else we have? We have zero downtime deployments, vanity domains. So basically now each Forge site has its own domain, which is a good one. And we have Laravel VPS. which is kind of choosing Laravel 2 to manage your infrastructure. This is a good one too. Oh, AG Zach, thank you for the feedback. Appreciate the feedback. That's a good one. Chat, let's talk a little bit about Laracon US back. So basically, we had Pest 4, Livewire 4, a bunch of product announcements, and a bunch of good talks. That was a great conference. I managed to speak with a bunch of people, so that was super cool. I must be honest with you. That was super cool. People were super kind to me. You guys are absolutely smart on the conference, and we had a great conversation. We had a great after party too, okay? We had a great after party, which was, I don't know, Brewdog. I think this was the place. Yes, I think it was Brewdog. That was a great after party. I had a few drinks. That was a good one. What else? Day 2, another day of conference, and at the end, what did I do at the end? I had a Laravel team situation, I think. Yeah, a Laravel team dinner. That was cool too. Did you guys saw the OSS panel with Taylor, Adam, Jeffrey Wade, and NMView? I saw the OSS panel. I found it funny that it was an open source panel, but they only talked about products. It was it was fun. It was fun to see them talk. They're all our businessmen, but they talked about how they organize themselves. But obviously, they're not coding as much these days, I assume. That's probably why. Oh, it was not streamed? Oh no. Okay, well, I didn't know about that. So basically, they were, Taylor, Adam, Jeffrey Way, and Evan Yu. They went all on stage, and they talked about like how they organize themselves, what they do regarding coding still. What else? I can't remember. But it was literally a fun discussion. People laugh and everything. It was super fun. I think the goal of not making that streamed was, okay, a lot of people paid for the ticket, so let's give them something a little bit more unique, where, people from home will not get that. So we had that. And yeah, I think, I loved the conference. It was a great conference, Chad. It was a great conference. So congratulations. Let's clap for everyone at Laravel for organizing this great conference. All the marketing events team at Laravel did a great job. The conference went really smooth. No queues for anything whatsoever. The food was good. The stage was absolutely insane, like Champions League level, and I think it was a great conference. So props to everyone that was involved on the organization of this event. And thanks for the sponsors too. All right, Chad, what time is it? Yeah, we still have time to talk a little bit about generics in PHP. I want to talk about that. Did you guys saw that PHP is thinking about bringing generics? Did you guys saw that? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Chat. We are literally having generics in PHP, Chat. Maybe. Okay, let's click here. PHP Foundation. So in case you don't know, PHP has a foundation situation in place. Okay, and what this PHP Foundation situation is about having full-time developers working in PHP. And today they published something on news. Okay, so this is coming from the PHP Foundation website. So it's real. Like literally they just published an article about generics in PHP. Now, this article was written by Larry Garfield and Gina Bayard. I know that Gina is a full-time employee of the core of PHP. I don't know about Larry. I think Larry is just someone who just does a lot of RFCs for PHP, proposes a lot of engagements, but I don't think he works full-time for PHP. Okay, so the article is called Compile Time Generics, Yes or No. Okay. What do we have here? Is this something formal? Oh yeah, it's coming from the PHP Foundation website. There is nothing more formal than this about PHP. So it's literally something formal. Adrian is saying, Brian made an excellent point against these RFC today. Yeah, I have seen Brand is points on this RFC, and it's probably the same ones as me, honestly. So yeah, it's absolutely something formal, and let's maybe speak about this a little bit, okay? Or let's maybe go straight to my opinion about this RFC. Yeah, let's actually just go straight to my opinion about this RFC. So TLDR, this is not an RFC, so it's not actually a proposal to the core yet, but is just a way that they are thinking about proposing generics to the PHP language, and it's compile time generics in only partially, in generics will be only partially supported. Okay, so let's think about generics a little bit. Let's go here into PHP Storm. Let's go all the way up. When you think about generics a little bit, what do you think? Well, basically, you can have generics at class level. So you can have, for example, a collection that supports a certain type of item. Okay, and let's actually not do this for now. Yep, let's do this. Let's do that. And let's replace item by T item. And then here I can do something that looks like this. Okay. So this is what generics are about. And let's make this a little bit more pretty. Yeah, I think I want to. Let's just do a little bit better. Okay. Let's type here private array. By the way, PHP does not support this. Okay, this would be kind of the ultimate goal, but it does not support this yet. Okay. All right, so this is generics. It's basically a way of specifying the type of items you are going to have on this collection. So if you were to fetch all items, you can literally have a runtime exception that says, this type of item is not supported. So here, for example, I could do something like collection equals to a new collection of items. Let's do this. And if I were to for each on this collection, what do I have here will be an integer, okay? And if I do this, and if I try to provide, for example, a string, this will blow up. If I try to provide an object, this will blow up. But if I try to provide an integer, I only have integers, therefore this works as expected, okay? This is the kind of generics that I was waiting for. But the proposal is not about this. The proposal is about not allowing this kind of syntax, but what you could do instead is create your own generic class. This will be number collection, for example. And you would say, okay, this number collection extends the top collection with the type integers, okay? And then you could go all the way down and effectively use this. So TLDR, you would have to pretty much do this all the time. So instead of just using the generic type, you would have to create a class that uses the generic type before. This has a name apparently. What is the name? Mono whatever, I think. Let me see. Mono. Yeah, it's called it monomorphized. Oh my god, this is a complicated word. Monomorphized generics, okay? This is the type of generics we're talking about. So this is the only thing that they are giving to us or proposing on this blog is, all right, you can make generic classes. However, if you want to use them in runtime, you kind of have to create this intermediary type in between. So what do you guys think? Okay, so people are saying, I don't really like it. Lich Cruz is saying, nah. AJL is saying, not a fan. I know. I think people honestly got disappointed a little bit. But something we need to keep in mind is that if you think a little bit, Go or Python, they also started slow with generics. They went slow, and then they came up with real generics afterwards. So maybe this is like a step towards the correct direction, you know? Better than that. John Park is saying better than nothing. I know. It's kind of... So I think like in the ideal world, what people would want is just being able to do this. Let's actually do the version 1 and version 2. I think like what people really want to do is this stuff, and what they are getting is this. I don't know, man. It feels kind of weird generics, basically. So this is like what is proposed. And this is what people want. Oh, there is also the fact that we are getting only... Yeah. So, you know, oh, by the way, they are not also adding support for this. So it's basically just the top situation on top. So it's not like method level generics or, you know, you cannot make the array generic too. It will be only like class level generics. And the only way you can use them is doing stuff like this. So I don't know, chat. I'm a little bit like, you know, with PHP stand and PHP annotations, you just get so much more than this. So I don't know. Something you guys need to keep in mind is that I think like having full generics TypeScript level in one go will not happen. You know what I mean? Some of you in the chat said, give us everything or nothing. The question is like having everything in the same go. I don't think it will ever happen because it's a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? So maybe this is like the first time I saw this is like, okay, I won't use this. However, it's a step towards a good direction. So maybe we need to think that way, you know? Roberto, something to need to keep in mind is that hack or the hacklang from Facebook is like a brand new language. It's not like PHP where it relies on every website in the world relies on PHP. Steady with Dylan is saying, I think this would be a step on the wrong direction. Why would you say that? Let me know. I'm curious about your opinion about this. Let's think a little bit, chat. Python and Go, they didn't have generics, and the first time they had generics, they went slow. So basically, Python is also compile time generics, so you don't have actually any runtime validation. In Go, the type of generics they have is kind of, you know, lame a little bit too. So, you know, maybe it's a step towards a good direction. That's why I'm trying to say. So they need to move slow. They cannot just keep breaking changes, you know what I mean? Yeah, this is also a less featured version of generics when compared with Python. So there is no impact in performance because PHP have this opcache thing, which basically just compiles stuff once. That's it. So there is no performance impact. My keyboard is key Cron key 8 indeed. So something we need to keep in mind, this is something that I'm not sure if it's possible, is use anonymous classes. So in theory, instead of doing this crap, let's do here, proposed solution A, you could do the solution B, which is doing something like this. Collection equals to new class extends collection of integers, and then you would provide the numbers inside. But this stuff looks ugly as fuck. Like, honestly, just to have type safety, you have to provide all of this stuff. Just looks ugly. So this is like the solution number B, which I also don't like. Yeah. Yeah, this would work, but it's also a little bit like, you know. Let me see if the blog has anything else. Let's go here, all the way down. Yeah, pretty much you have to use every single time a new class every time you want to use a type. Yep. Yeah, so for example, if I want a sequence and I want a sequence of articles, I would have to always create a class. Do they have oh my god, what is this? Okay. Okay, this work is still experimental. As noted above, there is a few features still to add and dozens of edge cases and crafty corners to sort out. What happens if you implement two generic interfaces? Do you do anonymous classes make anything weirder? I think they do. There is much work ahead to bring compile time generics to a votable state. Okay, so this is literally just a proposal. It won't, you know, there is no plans yet to make this an RFC. The foundation, of course, wants to be respectful of the time of our development team, the time of many RFC reviewers, and the pocketbooks of our generous sponsors. Right. Foundation staff have already sunk quite a bit of time into the question of generics. Before we sink more time into it, we want to ask the community, in the PHP internal especially, if this is worth. Would partial generics approach like that described be acceptable? Even if it may not be possible to go all the way to full generics, would this type of generics be big enough to justify spending more time on it? Our team thinks it is, but PHP is larger than our team. So we want to get the feedback from the broader community. Okay, chat. Let's make a vote. So what do you guys think? Let's just, before you guys say yes or no, let's just think a little bit, okay? We need to keep in mind, this is not full support of generics, but it's something. It's a step towards a good direction. So potentially, this could be a start, okay? And we do have to start with something. Otherwise, we'll never get generics. Obviously, this is not ideal, meaning that it's not what people would expect from generics. However, it's generics, you know, not perfect. So let's make a vote here, chat. If you think this should be in PHP 9.0, say yes. If you think this should not ever be released this way, say no. And I want to see what you guys think. Adrian is saying, I would say no. Hakin is saying, one step at a time. Yes. Pig and Flow is saying, yes. Adrian is saying, generics are here to write less code. And they want us to write more code. I know, dude. April is saying, hey, Nuno. Hey, dude, how you doing? Simon is saying, yes, we want this. Kayla is saying, no. It should be done right on the first go. Yukanman is saying, yes. Mateus Jungas is saying, yes, it's baby steps. Is really mixed feelings here, chat. I see that everyone is like, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Eduardo Santos is saying probably yes, but I will never use it. The thing is that if a class is generic, I think you will be forced to use it if you think a little bit. So imagine, for example, that there is a library that gives you a certain class like, let's think a little bit, gives you a collection class, for example, which is typed. If this is within a library, I think you will be forced to use a generic type, meaning that at your level, in your own application, you will be forced to literally create a user collection like this before being able to use regular collections. Of course, Laravel will never do that, but this is the only way of using this collection, unless they have default types. They may actually have default types. Let's see. Do they have something that looks like this? Oh, they do. Here we go. Okay, they may have default types. In that case, we could potentially make this. You know, that way you wouldn't have to use this crap. The collection needs to be abstract. Thank you for that clarification, Adrian. I appreciate that. I don't know, Chet. I think like to make this a real thing to the PHP world, we have to start with something, Chet. We have to start with something. This may not be that something. Maybe that, you know, maybe it's not enough yet. But I also think at the same time, you know, we are going to have partial support for generics, but like starting slow, you know? But yeah, mixed feelings. I know that everyone here in the chat have also mixed feelings. Regardless, I appreciate Larry and Gina for setting up this blog post for us. I also appreciate the investigation you guys have done. Let's clap for this team for bringing, you know, this article for us. It's not something easy, chat. Every time you're working with a language that is used across the world, you need to take in consideration a lot of things. It's not like developing something new. It's always easy to develop something new. Every time you're developing a new application that nobody is using, it's easy to do. However, if you wanted to develop on something, on top of something that is being used, is currently shipping production, it's always difficult, you know? So, you know, there is a lot of work to do here, and I appreciate the time they took to come with this article to us. And so props to Larry and Gina for bringing this article to us. Chat, let's talk a little bit about the future of the live stream. There is a lot of topics coming in the future, and I want to speak with you about them. So we have Symfony AI, chat. You guys saw that? Literally, Symfony is making a new component, call it Symfony AI. And it looks really exciting, honestly. So they are bringing ways of developing agents, MCP servers, and many other things. And I think we may bring some of this to the stream to see how to use the Symfony AI component. So we have that. We have, what else we have? We have a Filament Week coming, okay? So the Filament Week, I think we are going to do, this will be literally 3 live streams, okay? And the way I'm planning to do this will be potentially do an app, okay? An application together, okay? Where we are going to develop Filament v4 app with actions, browser testing, and all those cool stuffs. And we are going to fully develop an application together, I think. Yes. DFL, great point about generics. It's not only about developing generics. We also need to keep in mind that once we add generics to the language, we need to maintain them. That's a good point. What else we have? We are going to potentially bring a Devin live stream. So basically, Devin is this AI agent that develops applications for us, and I want to see how Devin behaves with PHP and Laravel. What else we have? We have Laravel Live Denmark. Chat, I have to say Laravel Live Denmark, and I have to say something about this. At Laracon US, I thought I would be able to have the courage to do in real live stream, but I haven't done anything. So for Laravel Live Denmark, I want to kind of do in real live stream. Something I'm not sure about is how comfortable, or if I will be actually with courage to do something like this. Because it just feels weird. Every single time I think about this, just about grabbing, a stick in the camera, just feels weird to be like that, So we'll have to be brave and literally do this at Laravel Live Denmark. Yes. Peak Info is asking if Devin is still 500 a month. I have no idea. That's why we are going to do a live stream about this, to understand all those cool things. Diabel is saying, need a cameraman? Yeah, no, I don't think I'll need the cameraman, but it just, feels weird to do some sort of in real live stream, so I'll have to think about that. Operator is saying, I may come to Denmark. That will be awesome, dude. Come to Denmark. By the way, chat, if you just arrived, my name is Nuno. Today we have recapped Laracon US and also the state of generics and 2025 for PHP. My name is Nuno. If you like this live stream, give me a follow on the button just below. Also like the live stream. If you want to see more PHP and Laravel content, I would really appreciate that. But yeah, I want to bring Symfony AI, Filament Week, Devin live stream, Laravel Live Denmark. Yep, this will be a big one. So this is basically something I'm going to into in August, the day of the Pest 4 release. This is something we are also doing on stream, like literally talking a little bit more about Pest 4 and work on it. I want to bring as well some more Vue.js and React content. Vue.js to get myself ready for the Avenue interview, and React content because I told you guys we are going to do it. So that's something else I want to bring. But yeah, that being said, chat, that was it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. I want to start small because I'm super jet lagged, but I appreciate you guys being there on that side. Let's rate someone as usual on Twitch. As you guys may well know, we always rate people on Twitch. Let's send all this 50 people to another live stream. Let's see if we can find anyone doing some PHP development. Let's go here to the Twitch chat. Why I cannot find the Twitch chat? Like, what's actual? Hey, Pick and Flow, thank you for saying that, for taking the time to be with me at Laracon US. It was awesome. Hey, Joel, thank you so much. Mateus Junges is saying you still have 4 hours to kill at the airport. You still there? By the way, chat, in case you don't know, I have actually went for a couple drinks with Mateus Junges. That was super fun, dude. Okay, let's raid Bush Bunny, which is a Go developer, I think. That being said, chat, love you all. Catch you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll probably live stream, so catch you guys tomorrow. Peace out.